Okay, hey folks, I'm sitting here by the Rijeka Drava River here in Osijek, and just jump right into it. So I know a lot of folks that I've worked with over the past 20 years or so have suffered from what are called panic attacks. And before I give you the very quick and very simple solution to stopping a panic attack in its tracks, I just want to describe briefly what's going on in the body with a panic attack. So basically, you start to have a reaction to a loop in the mind or to a situation that you're in, whether that's maybe an overcrowded concert or struggle to breathe, like smoky air or dust, or anything can kind of trigger it. But what happens in the body then is the diaphragm, the breathing muscle, becomes tight. And it's in most people it's already tight, unless you're practicing something like the radical undoing, breathing and body movements, which will then loosen that up over time. So the diaphragm gets tight, and then the breathing tends to move up into the chest. So it's kind of gets like, might not be that extreme, but the breathing moves up into the chest, and then due to the lack of oxygenated blood going to the brain, and the blood vessels starting to constrict because of the fear, there becomes a feedback loop. So now the brain is noticing the body all tense and thinks, well, there must be some emergency happening, okay? So then the breathing gets worse, the situation gets worse, and then often people end in the hospital and they get some kind of tranquilizer. Almost 90% of the time that's what will happen if you go to the hospital. So the way to end a panic attack in its tracks, and this might not be easy, it is a very simple exercise, but it might not be easy to get yourself or to get the person who's panicking to do it. But basically, you drink a glass of water, not a lot of water, 5-8 ounces, and then make sure you have clean hands, and then put your hands into your mouth, to the back of your tongue, and elicit the gag reflex. Now, the first time you do it, it's going to be probably not a complete gag. You'll just feel it in the diaphragm. It'll thrust the diaphragm down. Then you breathe a couple breaths, do another gag reflex. Okay, and you're not looking to throw up, you're looking just to elicit the gag reflex. So you put the fingers in the mouth, elicit another one, and you do this while you're exhaling, or not breathing, but exhaling so you don't inhale anything when you do the gag. The second one you'll probably feel up through the chest. Do a third one. After a couple breaths, you'll feel it in the throat, and sometimes even the face, and then the fourth one usually is a complete gag, and you'll feel it even there'll be some eye watering. Remember to take a few breaths between each gag reflex, and then when you're finished, just sit down, close your eyes, breathe into your belly, into your chest, and just relax, okay? Now, if you're someone who's prone to panic attacks, meaning you've had more than one, you can also do this exercise in the shower every day when you wake up in the morning. Drink some water so you have an empty stomach besides the water, and then do the gags in the way I just described. Now, I've demonstrated those before on YouTube. I'm not going to do that now, but I do demonstrate these in the weekly sessions and in some of the other work that I offer. So this is a technique you can use right away to overcome panic attacks, and then if you incorporate the technique into your daily life, and you might not have to do it forever, but if you do it every day in the shower, what's going to happen is the diaphragm's going to become more relaxed, and it will loosen up, and you'll have cumulative effects, meaning it'll be very difficult for you to ever have a panic attack again, okay? So once you create a new feedback loop where you start to feel afraid or triggered by something, and then your diaphragm gets relaxed, and your belly and breathing muscles get relaxed by that gag reflex, now your body has a new feedback loop it can go to. So when the panic trigger happens, if you do this enough over time, it will tend to just cause you to breathe deeper and reflect on what's actually going on, which is usually not a survival threat. Okay, that's what I've got for you today. Try it out. Let me know how it goes in the comments. And for anybody who feels like this is some kind of taboo thing or a weird thing to do, consider the fact that it's your body, it's your gag reflex, and it's really not a big deal. Like I said, leave comments, leave any questions in the comment section, and I'll see you guys again soon. Some cool tips and radical undoing movements and techniques and approaches to free yourself from your conditioning, overcome chronic tensions in the body, and overcome the unnecessary suffering in the mind. See you soon.